Hello friends, welcome back to the new tutorial of the Sequelize ORM. Today we are going to learn about the difference between the validations and the constraints. So let's get started. Those who haven't subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe my channel, and if you like the video, please do like, share and comment on my video. So let's get started. Validations are the checks performed in the Sequelize level. In the pure JavaScript, they can be arbitrary complex if you provide a custom validator function, or you can be done with the inbuilt validators offered by the Sequelize. If validation fails, no SQL query will be sent to the database at all. Okay, so in that case, validations are helpful. Other hand, we have a constraints rules that are defined at the Sequelize level or the SQL level, database level. The most basic example of constraint is the unique constraint. If the constraint check fails, an error will thrown by the database and Sequelize will forward this error to the JavaScript. In this example, throwing Sequelize unique constraint error, note that in this case Sequelize query was performed unlike the case of the for the validations. So validations and constraints both mechanisms used in the database to ensure the data integrity, but they serve slightly different purpose and are implemented at the different levels in the database. Let's see. First is purpose. Validations are the rules and the checks applied to the data at the application level to ensure that the data meets specific requirements or the rules. They are used to validate the data before it's sent to the database. Constraints are the rules and the checks applied to the database level, okay, to enforce their data integrity and the consistency. They are designed to define and restrict the types of the data that can be stored in the database and how different tables are related. Constraints are enforced by the database management system itself. Location. Validations are implemented in the application code. You define and apply them when you create or update the records or your business applications logic rules. They are applied before the data is sent to the database. Constraints are implemented in the database schema. You can define them when you create database tables using the data definition language. Okay. Flexibility. Validations provide more flexibility as they are defined and controlled by your application code. Constraints are more rigid and standardized that are typically limited to the basic integrity rules like primary keys, unique constraints, foreign keys, check constraints. Custom logic and the complex rules may be harder to implement using the constraints alone. Okay, then we have a error handling. Validations errors are typically handled by your application code, allowing you to provide custom error messages and user-friendly feedback. Constraint violations result in the database errors that needs to be caught and handled at the application level. These errors may be less user-friendly and often result in the standard database error codes and the messages. Performance. Validations can be more flexible but may require additional queries or the code execution to validate the data. Constraints are enforced by the DBMS, and as such, they can be more efficient for the ensuring the data integrity because they are applied at the database level, reducing the risk of the inconsistent or the invalidate data. So this is the difference between the constraints and the validations. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day.